so low, fading out, no fun now that you said I do. I'm wrong, that's right.
I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. So I came up to this field maybe a month ago, a few weeks ago, and it was all green, and it was like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I felt like it was the scene from a movie. And so I walked about 45 minutes to here to kind of film in here, because when the grass was green, it was a lot higher and there was a lot more privacy. So not only was it beautiful and remote, but I felt like I would have had a bit more privacy and be more secluded, because this scares the absolute living daylights out of me. But yeah, let's just begin, because I've tried to do this so many times, and the only way I'm going to get better is to just do it. So I have no previous experience with cameras or video editing or anything like that, but over the past couple years, I have found myself so passionate about podcasting. I started a podcast in January of 2020, and it really was pivotal for me. Changed the game. I met so many new people, and just realized as time has progressed and I've had different experiences that the passion for podcasting goes beyond just my own show, and just I really love the audio format. Now I want to begin building my skills around video and video editing, and I just want to learn more about cameras in general. I think it would be beneficial to not only just kind of the direction I'm going within my career, but also it's something I've really been curious about for years, and I really admire individuals such as Isabel or Nathaniel Drew, just amazing storytellers who use film to create such intentional and such provoking stories to watch. So this is my step one on the path to whatever this new chapter is. I've also uncovered that I think I have a true interest in storytelling. I never really used that word up until probably a week ago. I want to get better at sharing stories. I think throughout life, I view obstacles as the end of the world. Something as simple as being late or being stuck in traffic or tech not working. Honestly, the simplest things I often and embarrassingly freak out about and stress out way too much about. The actual obstacles that I might face that are really pivotal in my journey have always been beneficial. In the moment, they might have seemed hard or challenging, but in the end, I think as I look back and connect the dots, they're the most important experiences of my life and have likely taught me the most. So what I'm kind of gathering is I think through storytelling, I will begin to almost show myself that the obstacles aren't a bad thing. So with this being said, I think the more I lean into storytelling, I will hopefully kind of show myself that facing obstacles and challenges is not a bad thing, and just remind myself that it is all working towards a greater goal. It is all teaching me important lessons along the way, and hopefully not to freak out as much as I embarrassingly do. Of course, I would end up in the setting on my first video. I am a prairie kid. I am born and raised in Alberta, Canada. And so I honestly didn't even really think much of it coming up here. I came here because, as I said, it's a private area, but at the end of the day, I think it just kind of makes sense. The roadblocks I've faced so far with this whole journey is honestly myself. That's probably the main roadblock I've faced. I keep giving myself every reason under the sun not to record these videos. Why they're not good enough. I need actually an external microphone. The video is not good enough. I need to learn more about cameras before I can start shooting. It's endless. It's really just fear. That's what I've come to discover. I'm so afraid to put myself out there to be seen, and I'm just taking steps towards that and hoping that the more I put myself out there, the more I will get comfortable doing so. I also have to admit, I clearly think about what the hell will people think, but yeah, I definitely consider that. It's a very vulnerable thing, being creative and participating in creative activities, especially new activities that you are not good at. It is vulnerable to put yourself out there and to make mistakes and to mess up and to put your name beside a creation that you're not proud of. Yeah, I think I can think of 101 roadblocks that have come up. So much self-judgment, even just getting this camera and it being in higher quality than I'm used to, and viewing myself in the viewfinder. So I'm just trying to bear with it. I remember when I started a podcast, I could not even listen to the sound of my own voice. It just really made me cringe. And as time has progressed, I've really kind of gotten used to it. It is what it is. And so I also kind of assume the same will happen with video. I think another factor that has really been preventing me from progressing and really starting this new activity is false expectations. I view creators such as Nathaniel Drew or Isabel Page, who have been doing this for years, and are really just uncomparable to where I am in this moment. But for me, I expect that straight away I will be able to create on their level. It's funny when I say it out loud, but it's really just the truth. And I just want to acknowledge it because I think so many people do the same thing. I just know I'm human. Like, that's why I want to acknowledge that. So I guess I need to set myself a challenge similar to what I did with my podcast, which was to get a podcast on Apple Podcasts. At the time, that seemed like insurmountable. I couldn't even fathom how to even get a podcast up on Apple Podcasts. And so I told myself I just had to get one up there. And then after that, I just told myself I had to post 3. And so similar story here. I just want to make 3 videos, create them, and share them on the internet. Ooh, right at this moment, that seems really wild to me. It seems pretty crazy. It is kind of funny that this is all happening in this chapter of my life. I've recently moved to a little town in northern England, and it's only been probably 2 months now, and I'm an adult. So it's been a challenge to meet new people, and I really feel this longing for connection. And for so long, I told myself that it was bad or wrong to seek such connection online. And I do agree there is a time and place to in-person connection. But what I've learned, so I don't know why I'm not taking like lived experience and really challenging that with this narrative that I have, because my life has shown me differently, of showing up authentically online and making these initial connections, but again, just taking them offline. You know, you can initially meet online. It's such an amazing world that we have access to so many individuals, so many resources, so many ideas and perspectives. So I think at this moment where I feel not lonely, because I enjoy my own company, I enjoy being alone, but I do always feel the need for deeper connection and greater connection. I think that's just a human need that we need to all fulfill. And for some reason, I just feel like this is an important step in me building greater connection with the world. Another point I want to add is I think it can be pretty interesting to witness people on the journey, not the people at the destination. I think with social media, obviously a lot of people with larger platforms that have been curating for quite some time and are really eloquent in their craft have a larger platform and reach more people, which is great because they make inspiring and really thought-provoking content. But I think there's something to be said about documenting the journey, documenting the mess-ups, the mistakes, the really bad quality content, and the lessons you learn along the way, and really just seeing someone progress and grow within themselves and within kind of this creative endeavor. I think it's kind of cool to highlight the people that haven't made it, the people that are still figuring it out. Obviously, I really enjoy and get inspired from people that have quote unquote made it or in really interesting and positions that I really admire and respect. But I think partially those people sometimes become unrelatable in a way. I think they can still be inspiring, but I also just I feel as though there might be more people in the position that I'm in than the people that have quote unquote made it. You know, I think more people might feel uncomfortable in front of a camera, sitting in a field. talking to themselves than people that just think it's normal. I don't know actually, because the more that I put myself out there and really lean into my creativity, I'm really surprised about the individuals that kind of like come out of the woodworks and not only support me on my creative endeavors, but I really just see how many more people there are out there that are taking risks and have the courage to really lean into their creativity. I think that's all I want to say for this video. If you want to grow with me, if you want to witness whatever this thing is going to become, then definitely follow along. I'm curious if you're in a similar situation, if there's anything that you've really considered doing for a long time, but you've experienced fear, doubt, self-judgment, or have you been in my position before and it worked out, whether that taught you something about yourself, whether you learned a new skill, whether you realized you actually didn't want to do something that you thought you wanted to do. Let me know. I'd be super curious. For those who don't know, I also have a podcast. It's called The Curious One. It's a space for me to sit down with other people and have deeper, more meaningful conversations with the intention that I broaden my perspective throughout the conversation. So if you want to join me in that and hear more about what's happened in the life of myself, be sure to check it out. All right, well, I'm gonna walk home. I hope this video worked.